to the whole world. Again, you guys, as you can see, this is the continuation of exercise 6.1, and right now I'm about to dive on to 6.1b, which requires me to write a program that asks the user to enter a string. The program should then print the following. Okay, the first 3 characters of the string, the last 3 characters of the string, and the string backwards. I wanna make this. I wanna take care of the whole thing. By whole thing, I mean B, in a single video, you guys. Okay. As you can see, I've already created a file. Okay. And I'll simply go eval, not eval. I'm used to using the eval function. Enter a string. Okay. Now that I've got my string, okay, the very first thing I need to display the first 2 characters of my string, first 3 characters of my string. But bear in mind, you guys, you're only gonna be able to do that if the number of characters in our string is greater than or equals to 3. Okay. Otherwise, I'll have to display a message which will let the user know that the user input has insufficient number of characters. Insufficient. Short. Insufficient. I can't even spell that. Insufficient number of characters. And if the word insufficient is incorrectly spelled, I don't give a ish. This is no English class. Anyways, let's continue. Now suppose that the user input has enough number of characters. What is it I want to do? I'll simply go print the first 3 characters are there's this idea, you guys. I'll write it down and then explain it to you guys in a moment, because if I do the talking and the coding at the same time, not only does it confuse you guys, it also made me tend not to understand what is it I'm trying to say or do. Right? So now here's the game plan. Remember before, if we wanted to access a certain character on a given string, we simply pass the index right between these square brackets. Turns out that you can pass a range, right, of indices, right? For instance, if I want to access characters in the range AB, I'll simply go A and then B, where A and B are both indices in a correct range. Okay, now I know that's probably even more confusing. You know what, let me solve this problem. I am pretty sure it makes sense. Okay, you see, this is the minimum index, that's right there is the maximum index. However, the number you put here, the index you put there, the character belonging in that index won't be included. Meaning in this case, we'll get characters in the first, second, and third positions only. Okay, meaning characters in index 0, 1, and the one residing in index 2. We won't display the one residing at index 3. Okay, I'm hoping that did not create that much of a confusion. Let's see. Luandile. This is gonna be our string, you guys. As you can see, we're displaying the first 3 characters. Let's try something else as well. My life programming school. Oh, you guys, I know you might be thinking this only has 2 characters. Nope, you're wrong if that's what you think. You see, there is that space over there as well, the one that actually separates the word my and the word life. Okay, so we still have 3 characters here, you guys. Don't get confused by the fact that the last character is a space. Okay, anyways, you guys, enough about that. Now, what if I won the last 3? If I won the last 3, oh, it's probably good for me to show you another way, because this right here isn't the only way one can use to display the first 3 characters. You see, remember I told you before that the range has to be in that form, right? The range of indices, right? The range of indices has to be in that form. Just so you know, A right there is optional. Fact of the matter is, both of them are optional. These indices are both optional. Okay, now I'll show you in a moment what do I mean by that. You see, if I get rid of the 0 there, let me hit the run button and show it to you. We're still gonna get precisely what we wanted. Kanyile. You see, we're still getting the first 3, even though we did not specify anything there for our minimum index. So basically, Python assumes that we're starting from 0. The index is 0. Okay, and there is a reason why, you guys. There's a reason why I'm telling you this. Okay, and you'll see later. This is the second way of displaying the first 3 characters. Let me show you the third way, you guys. I can simply of character in range. Remember, you guys, the whole idea behind this website or channel, depending on where you're watching this video from, is teaching by tackling programs, right? You're gonna have to learn by seeing how things can be done in different ways. Anyways, I can simply now go print user input at index of character. I didn't do that. However, I'm gonna have to use, for my end, I'm gonna have to do that. This again will do precisely what these above 2 lines did. Okay, you see we've got those three. Okay. You guys, but the most straightforward way, you guys, is that one up there. Okay, I would say that is the best way to go. In fact, it's not the best way, it's a matter of preference, you guys. It depends what is it you most comfortable with. Okay. Oh, I did not, of course I don't have to show you guys what happens if you enter a string less than 3. Of course, that right there is gonna get displayed. Okay, now what? Now I've got to display the last 3. Am I right? Okay, now, okay, the first 3, the last 3 characters. Now, about the last 3 characters, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to get rid of that whole thing. Display the first 3 characters. Now I wanna display the last 3. Now, how am I gonna go about doing that? It's gonna be as simple as let me copy that for the sake of speeding things up. Now let's simply change those values there. Okay, let's start with our b. Remember, I always tell you guys, you can think of this as in something in that form where a and b are valid indices. Okay, are indices. Okay, let me put it like that. Let's start with b. Of course, we need to include the last index, the last character. So we're gonna have to go user input. Bear in mind, you guys, we don't have to use -1 in this case because this method will exclude whatever character that resides in the position that is specified there. So no need to -1. Okay, now what do I want to do? If I want the last 3, in fact, if I want the last n characters of a given string, I'm gonna have to minus n from there, where n is some valid index, all right, or maybe valid integer, positive integer. Okay, so in this case I want the last 3 characters, so that is gonna give me the last 3 characters, that is gonna give me the last 4, the last 7, so on and so forth, assuming of course that your user input has acceptable number of characters. So I'll leave it like that for now. Let me hit the run button and see what we get. You see, we're getting the last 3 as ILE. Okay, check this out. If I do that, I'll get the last 2 as you've guessed, of course. Okay, as you can see, we're good. So I'll have to keep that as 3. That is one way of doing it, you guys. I'll show you another one in a second. Remember, I told you before, let me comment the bottom one. Remember, you guys, I told you before that both A and B are optional, right? Okay, so I'll only, this time around, I'll only specify my A. Okay, I won't specify B. Okay, so here's the game plan. You see, suppose we've got some string with 10 characters, right? You see, one way of accessing your characters is by using indices from 0 through 9, right? But here's what you should know. If you've got 10 characters, we can access, let me show you like this. Let me just go now. I'll put the word Lwandile, which we know it has, wow, how many characters? 8. So if I go, meaning it will have indices 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So if I go minus 7, let's see what's that gonna give us. You see, it's actually giving us, starting from here, that right there is treated as -1, E is -1, L is at index -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7. So hence we have W being -7. Meaning if you put -8, that is gonna be -8. Okay, you can think of, instead of going from left to right, we're going from right to left. However, if we're going from left to right, we all know that we'll have something like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the case of the word Lwandile. However, if we go from right to left, we won't be starting from 0, we'll start from -1. Okay, so that right there tells us that we will get the last character, right, which is Z. So now question is, what if we won the last 3, the second last? If we want the second last character, we'll do that. If we want the third last character, we'll do that. Now what if we won the last 3? In that case, it means we're gonna have to do that. So our A is gonna be -3. We go all the way up to the length of our character, which is length of our string, which is user input. Let me run this so that you guys will see. A, B, C, D, E, F. As you can see, we've got D, E, F. Here's what's interesting, you guys. Remember I told you that we've got A right there, we've got B right there. Okay, the interesting thing is B is optional in this case. If we get rid of that, we're still gonna have a working solution. Why? Simply because Python will treat our B as the maximum acceptable index. Okay, so let's just go time. As you can see, we've got that IME over there. Okay, even though we did not include the B index. Okay, there was another way of taking care of this, you guys. Of course, I mean, that should be it, you guys. I don't want to take too much of your time. All of these things, I mean, both of these lines, they do one and the same thing, which is to display the last 3 characters. Okay, now let me see. If I want to display my string backwards, I'm afraid, you guys, I wanna squeeze this one as well on this video. Reason being, when I do the next one, I don't wanna think about this problem. Okay, so here's the game plan. The reverse string display there. Reverse the string. Okay, so one way of doing it will be to simply go okay, let me comment that part, meaning I can simply cut that from there, put it right there. Okay, so that I'll only be dealing with that. This time around, you guys, it does not, you see, we do not necessarily have to have a string whose size is greater than or equals to 3, right? As long as our string is greater, is not empty, okay, we good. However, I'm gonna leave it like this, right? Because this is gonna be a source code that some of you out there might want, but I don't want you to think that in order for a string to be reversed, it has to have at least 3 characters. Okay, anyways, let me continue. So one way of making sure that we're getting a string in a reversed order, I can simply go int I in range. As for my range, I put my length of a string, my length of user input -1. Of course, I need to -1, otherwise I might get an error. I want to go from -1, that's my index. I want to go all the way up to 0. So if I want, and I'll be decreasing by 1 each time. So if our string has 10 characters, we'll start from index 0, we'll go index 8, index 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So that's why I need to do that. I probably shouldn't even bother explaining that, because I talked a lot about it on videos when I was actually doing loops. So I simply wanna do what? I simply wanna display the character at the ith element. Okay, this is one way, you guys, of making sure that we're displaying our character in a reverse order, our word in a reversed order. As you can see, it's Luandile if you're reading it from left to right. Okay, that's one way. Another one, and probably the most straightforward one, will be in fact, it's not the most straightforward one, but I mean, it's not the most straightforward one per se. Reason being, it's sort of like what we have up here. So I'll simply go for each character in the string called the user input. Okay, I will simply go I'll start by having a variable called reversed string. I'll initialize it to that. I'll then go reversed on each iteration. I'll go reversed string. I'll concatenate it with character, with whatever my current character is. However, I'm putting my current character at the beginning of my string. Okay. I'll then go reversed string. Okay, now let's see what do I get. Reversed string. Ganyile. As you can see, we've got Ganyile from right to left. Okay, this should be it for this tutorial, you guys. Again, I wanna repeat this, you guys. We do not necessarily have to have a string whose number of element is greater than or equal to 3. I'm putting it inside there just because I wanted to do everything in one video. Okay, I hope that's clear. I don't want anyone spreading rumors out there that I'm giving you guys incorrect solutions, which is something that I experienced before some time ago though. Okay, so that's gonna be it for this tutorial, you guys. Cheers, I'm gone.